Hello, and welcome back to Guidance in Recovery, your sobriety journey podcast with your host, Keegan. Do you wonder if your limitations are real or they're just something you accepted because someone else told you that long ago? Today, we are joined by a man who defines the word unstoppable. Nick Yerhart is a certified 10 times or 10x business coach, an entrepreneur, and the host of the Infinite Abilities podcast. Born with cerebral palsy, Nick was given a list of things he'd never be able to do, and he has spent his life systematically crossing every single one of those impossibilities off of the list. He is a fierce advocate for the special needs community and a voice for anyone who's been told their potential has a ceiling. He's here to help us dismantle the myths of disability and show us that the only true handicap is a limited mindset. So, Nick, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome, and thank you for having me on the show.
Of course. Thank you for coming on. Well, thank you for coming on. It's one of those things that you've got such a strong story, but the first question I've really got to ask is what myth is it that you'd like to help bust today?
I mean, today, just the myth of you can't do something. You know,
Okay.
I, I just think that if anybody tells you that, it's just a myth. It's not a fact.
Ooh, okay. So just because someone says no or you can't, that's a myth. It's not fact, it's not truth. And I guess you kind of see that more of a challenge of like, watch me, right?
Exactly. Oh yeah.
Ooh, nice. I also saw on Facebook not too long ago that you were actually plowing streets to help people out of the snow. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. What was that last Sunday? We got a big winter storm. I think we ended up with 18 inches in like
Whoa.
2 days. So it was a lot, and all the power companies were all backed up. I actually know a lot of them. I know the owners.
Uh
So me and my friend went out and we just started helping. So
huh.
yeah,
Man, that sounds really cool. And I mean, it's one of those things that had you not challenged all of those times people told you you couldn't, you wouldn't have been able to help people like you did, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I hopped in the plow truck that I own,
Uh huh.
and if I would have just listened to the doctors, I would have never drove anything in my life. And
Yeah.
I've operated more equipment than most pe- people.
What's your favorite piece of equipment that you've operated so far?
Uh, I would say the most useful would be a skid loader. I mean,
Ooh.
you can do a lot with those.
Uh huh.
My favorite is a four wheeler, which I actually used
Ooh.
to race when I was around 11 years old.
Oh wow, you used to race four wheelers.
Yep.
I've only been on one myself, and I almost flipped it going really fast.
I flipped them a lot, but you just gotta get back up and keep going.
Yeah, that's for sure. And skid loaders are one of those things too. They got two little joysticks on the side, and they can do a whole lot. And a lot of people don't realize that they can be kind of complicated whenever you first get behind the, well, not really a wheel, but
Yep.
so it's interesting that you found that that was your most favorite one. But I mean, could you just give us a little bit of your backstory so that we understand Nick a little bit better?
Of course. So I'm gonna start at the beginning. I was
Okay.
actually born dead, like
Whoa.
no heartbeat, wasn't breathing, nothing.
Wow.
And thankfully and obviously they revived me. But
Yeah.
about a year later, I was diagnosed with cerebral palsy,
Mm.
and that's due to lack of oxygen at birth.
Mm.
So I have a little brain damage, but
Uh-huh.
all it affects is like my motor skills. So like my
Okay.
muscles and how I move and things like that.
Uh-huh.
Um, so for the first couple of years after I was diagnosed, the doctor would tell my parents I might they said that I might not talk, and they actually said that I would never walk.
Mm.
And I started walking, or I started talking, shortly thereafter. It was a little later than like usual, but I
Uh-huh.
just started talking, and then I started walking at age 5, I think it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. then I mean, you were born dead. I
Yeah.
mean, you should get like an achievement trophy because of that.
I know, right? Like, how
uh,
many people can say that?
yeah, not a lot, not a lot. And I mean, you're not just a statistic, but you're helping break statistics.
Yeah, exactly. So going forward, my life, it was difficult. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't get me wrong. I mean, living
Yeah.
with cerebral palsy, like my hands, they don't work the best.
Mm.
I walk different. I walk slower. Um, so in school, it was always a challenge. And I wasn't very good at writing, things like that. So I
Mm-hmm.
went through schooling with an aide that was by my side all day, and she would help me with things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's like even in school, like so many of the teachers or the principal would tell me you can't, attend this or do this because you're disabled.
Mm.
And every every time I followed them, or my parents would, and we would find a way for me to be included in everything.
Mm.
And I just feel like there's a lot of parents that don't fight for their children like mine did,
Mm.
and I would like to change that.
Yeah. Okay. That's super cool that your parents even did that. And
Hmm.
I mean, your aide in school sounds like they were a real superhero of sorts.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Uh, did your aide ever sit there and try to perpetuate that same myth that you can't do this, or did they sit there and help, like, hold you up and kind of embolden you to try?
So I went through a few different aides.
Okay.
It really didn't matter until I got into like middle school.
Mm.
Because when you're younger, but I was also lucky. I had a really good one through elementary school.
Uh huh.
But then middle school, I had to get a new one. I
Mm.
went to a different school. And I will say the first one, not good. We ended up getting a new one about 6 months in, I think it was.
Okay.
And I had that one until 12th grade.
Oh wow.
She retired. So I was very
Oh.
lucky. And you become like family. Like she
Uh
was
huh.
like my second mom, and she was just
Mm.
awesome. But she was like my dad. I will say like my dad, where I couldn't use my disability as an excuse to get out of anything. She would
Ooh.
push me to do things on my own, and she
Huh.
wouldn't just do things for me. And I'm so thankful for her being like that.
Yeah. Dude, that is way too cool. And
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine that that would have been a huge help and beyond help. I mean, a lifesaver of sorts,
Yeah.
because if that person that's supposed to help you through school was perpetuating the you can't do this or blah,
Hmm.
blah, blah, or like you said, using it as an excuse of sorts, you wouldn't have actually realized that you have exponential potential.
Yeah.
And it's so cool that you've been able to do this kind of thing. And like, did you have that drive in school to help other people like get to where you're at now, or was that something that happened after you graduated?
That didn't really happen until like 5 years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I'm 34 now, so
Okay.
yeah, I like I was helpful. I had a lot of friends, and I'd help in your typical ways, but
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't like the mindset guy. I wasn't the guy that helped you believe in yourself or anything like that. I was
Mm-hmm.
just your friend. But I will say, like all through my life, I've always been the friend that everybody goes to for advice.
Hmm.
So looking back now, it's like, huh. I was a coach long before I became a coach. You know?
Oh, you were a coach long before, and I mean, that's really cool. That's inspiring, even. And looking back at it, did you kind of feel odd that people were coming to you of all people? Like you had this outside like thing that makes other people think that you can't. And so I guess your friends just realized that you have a special spark inside of you and they wanted to tap into that themselves, right?
Yeah. I think it's because they just looked at me and looked at what I've accomplished
Mhm.
and the hard times that I've gone through, and they just knew it was like a safe space to talk about anything and ask for advice and
Uh-huh.
get that kick in the ass to go do something.
Oh, a little kick in the ass. I mean, I think we all kind of need that sometimes,
Yep,
whether it's out of love or just a little bit of tough love, if you want to call it that.
yep.
Um, would you consider, well, do you think that your friends saw you as brave? Because you just doing you, it's probably like, well, I'm just doing me. And so, like, did you have trouble shaping an identity growing up?
Yeah, I did because I was never okay with having cerebral palsy. I
Mm,
never liked it. I always tried to hide it. And
mm,
I don't know why, because you can't hide this, but I tried. And I guess for me, like, just who I thought I was
mhm,
wasn't how other people saw me.
mhm,
And, I had a lot of friends. And it's just, like, looking back, it's like, why did they choose me?
mm,
And I think now I'm kind of seeing why, because I was somebody that everybody could count on. I was the good guy. I was the one that would push you to be better. You know.
mhm. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I think it's amazing that you can see part of that in yourself now that others saw in you a long time ago,
Hmm.
And in recovery rooms, there's that saying that self can't reveal self to self. Because, I mean, if I knew that I had some potential, I didn't know about it until other people kind of brought it to my attention, you
Hmm.
know? And so you help people kind of tap into their innate abilities as well. That's awesome. Uh,
Thank you.
yeah. I gotta ask though, just because you said you try to hide it, like, what was one of the silliest moments that you can think of, or a silly excuse that you came up with to try to hide it?
Like, I wouldn't say like excuse related. It's more like when I was out in public, I
Mm-hmm.
would try to walk better.
Mm.
I think it actually made me walk worse. And then if we were out to eat at restaurants,
Uh-huh.
a lot of times when I eat like pizza, like
Mm-hmm.
I just eat it off the plate like a dog. There's a lot of
Oh.
foods that I eat like a dog because my hands can't pick it up.
Uh-huh.
And I was just not order certain foods. I'd order foods that I could use a spoon or a fork easily enough where I could, eat without being embarrassed. Because that's what it was. I
Mm.
was embarrassed to eat a different way.
Mm.
And once I learned to just not care about what other people think,
Uh-huh.
like that's like everybody listening, stop caring about what other people think because it slows you down. It it just hurts you in the long run. Like just don't
Mm-hmm.
care and just live your life the way you want. Because now I go out to eat, I'll eat like a dog. I don't care
Uh-huh.
because it's easier for me to do it that way, and
Mm-hmm.
that's all that matters.
Mm. Oh man. Thank you for helping spread that message of don't care what other people think, because I know I suffered from that and still
Hmm.
kind of do from time to time, but I also growing up I had the idea that I didn't care what people thought, and so it was this weird tough shell, but on the
Hmm.
inside it was still like I want acceptance and stuff, and I didn't realize that the acceptance I was really wanting was from myself.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. And it's super hard to still break through that sometimes. So,
Yep.
I mean, thank you for helping other people do that for themselves, because I think that's how we'll make the world a better place.
Hmm. Yeah. And you might not fully break through that. I know I haven't, just like you, but
Mm.
just work on it. Just stop caring about the little stuff. It doesn't matter. And like for me, one of the big things is like people would stare at me doing something different,
Mm.
and what I thought that they were thinking, I bet you was 10 times worse than what they were actually thinking. And I know
Mm.
that we all do that. We think way worse of ourselves than anybody else does.
Yeah. We're our own worst critic.
Yep.
And I mean, we shame ourselves in a lot of different ways because shoulda, coulda, wouldas.
Hmm.
And I mean, whenever things are outside of our control, we do have to really just learn to let it go,
Hmm.
you know? So, what was one of the things that helped you kind of let go of your whole situation to not really care what other people thought?
I mean, that was like 5 years ago. I would say it started 6 years ago, but you know,
Okay.
I well, let's rewind just a little bit more.
Okay.
So, in 2019, I lost my dad to brain cancer. He had
Mm,
brain cancer for like 5 or 6 years,
mm,
and in 2019 he lost his fight.
mm,
And hardest time of my life. We also sold our business that we had as a family during
mm.
all of that. So my whole life got flipped upside down,
Yeah.
and I didn't grieve because
Mm,
shortly, like right before he passed away, we sold the company. Well, it
mm.
was it was a garbage company. That's why I have my old truck right behind me.
Okay.
Um, so there was a lot to take care of in the sale, and
Mm.
I was the only one strong enough to see it through. You
Oh,
know,
wow.
my mom, she was a mess. My sister was a mess. So, and I was also my dad's, right hand man at the company. So it was like my job to take care of this.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I had to go through and, sell the equipment, help the new owner of the company get all their stuff. And this took months. So I
Yeah.
didn't get to grieve. And
Mm.
I didn't really hit my first like grieving session until like a year later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's kind of where my journey starts as far as self development
Mhm.
because at that time I was so depressed. I had suicidal thoughts, everything.
Mm. Oh.
And one morning, I don't know if it was God, my dad, I don't know. I heard a voice that said, "You need to change, or you're not going to be here much longer."
Oh, wow.
And it's weird because, like, I was already having suicidal thoughts, but
Mhm.
the whole "you're not going to be here much longer" it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. So I uh, I started looking into self development,
Okay.
and I found a podcast called The Mindset Mentor by Rob Dial.
Okay.
And obviously all about mindset, improving yourself, all of that. I started
Mhm.
listening to that podcast as much as I could every single day,
Hmm.
and slowly I just started to feel better and started to look at my life differently.
Mm.
And you know, everything happened after that.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Real quick, I gotta say, deepest condolences for your father. That
Thank you.
really sucks. And I mean, there's something about grief, that I've come to learn, and it's that we're never really done grieving,
Yeah.
even though we kind of think we are,
Hmm.
and we just kind of learn how to grow around that hole that's created. So I hope
Yeah.
your healing journey's been well and successful so far. I know that
Thank
your
you.
dad would be super proud of you, though.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. And as for he's still helping me all the time. It's
Yeah.
it's so strange. Like I'll just get these little like tips or nudges to do something. It's like where'd that come from? It's like it's gotta be my dad, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. It's a beautiful reminder that our loved ones are always with us,
Hmm.
even after what we assume or presume is the end. But
Yeah.
in my belief, it's we don't really die. It's just we kind of transform into a different state of being,
Yep.
you
Yep.
know?
I agree. Hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, what do you think it meant, whatever that voice said? What do you think it was trying to get at is you won't be here much longer? Like, did you see yourself kind of withering away or something?
Yeah, I wasn't myself. Like I was
Mm.
just empty, like
Yeah.
nothing was really that fun anymore. You
Mm.
know, I didn't enjoy hanging out with friends anymore.
Mm.
I drank a lot.
Mm,
So it's like,
yeah.
and it's just you go down that road and you get in like a loop, and you just
Yeah.
can't get out of that loop.
Yeah.
And thankfully, I mean, that podcast, it really saved my life. And it's cool because I got to talk to Rob, who has a podcast, and I
Uh-huh.
got to tell him that, which is really cool.
Wow.
And that was, 2 or 3 years after I started listening to him.
Oh wow.
So,
That's
yeah,
really cool.
yeah.
Did you meet him at like a podcast convention or something?
So I actually bought one of his courses, and
Oh.
he was mm, mm, my coach. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, there was
Oh.
one of the coaching sessions. I got to talk to him, and yeah, it was
Oh
really
wow.
cool.
Dude, that's really cool. So you kind of got to meet a hero of sorts, right?
Exactly, yeah, that's exactly how I look at him. And still to this day, I listen to his podcast.
Yeah.
Because I'm always improving. I'm always going through hard times. Hard
Mm.
times don't end for anybody. I don't care who you are. You're still gonna have
No.
hard times, so you still gotta work on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, and you bring up a really good point. Hard times don't really end. They just kind of shift and change, and our
Yep.
perspective shifts and changes with them. And
Hmm.
sometimes it's like, oh, holy hell, what is happening now? And other times it's like, oh, that's nothing. I can handle that now.
Yep.
So, what was one of the things that you went through that kind of you thought for yourself, I don't know if I can actually do this, but you surprised yourself?
I would say that would be becoming a certified 10x business coach.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
I didn't really do it to become a business coach. I did it
Hmm.
just to learn more about business.
Okay.
And I will say, like, I don't coach much anymore
Mhm.
because it didn't like excite me. You know,
Mm.
I'd rather help people with social media and podcasting, and then give them coaching on the side. That's kind of how
Yeah.
I do it now.
Okay.
But I didn't think I could do it because I was like, well, who am I to be a business coach?
Mm.
Especially when you get started, everybody has that imposter syndrome, and you're
Yeah.
like, well, how can I help somebody else get to $1 million when I haven't done it myself? Things like that.
Yeah.
But everybody starts somewhere,
Mm.
and one thing that helped me a lot years ago is Mel Robbins said on her podcast, "You're not an imposter. You're just a beginner. You're
Ooh.
learning." And that kind of changed my whole outlook on that.
Mm. Oh, yeah. That is a really good way to look at that. And
Hmm.
I mean, I'm right there with you. Imposter syndrome is weird, because it's like, who am I to say this? Who am I to think like this? And I found that for myself, it was very much that imposter syndrome was actually just the parts of me I discarded a long time ago because I thought I wasn't good enough to embrace them,
Hmm.
you know?
Yep.
And it's hard to embrace them still because it's like I spent all this time growing up thinking I didn't need them and that they were worthless because it bothered other people.
Hmm.
And so, I mean, you coming to be a business coach and then, well, sorry, a 10x business coach, and then going on to do podcasting and coaching people on the side is just amazing. And I think that people can learn a whole lot from you. And like, how many clients do you usually see?
So right now we have 26 businesses that we
Whoa.
help. Yep.
Whoa, that's really
So
cool.
yeah. Oh yeah.
26. Are any of them other garbage companies, or did you start coaching the one that you had to sell off?
No, none of them. And I know it's fun because like everybody always like, Nick, you need to go help the garbage industry because you know it's best. And it's like, man, I retired from the garbage industry. I'm not ready to go back and do that. But I
Yeah.
do know I could really help them. But it's
Hmm.
just, I don't know. I guess it's hard because of my dad. That was like
Yeah.
his thing. We had the company together, and it's
Hmm.
like I was finally able to leave my job because I worked at two more garbage companies after we sold ours.
Oh wow.
After he passed away,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I'm I'm finally out, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like when every day we went to work, it was like a big reminder that my dad's gone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it got hard, you know.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. I can imagine that that was actually maybe not even bittersweet, just something that was more of a painful like blister on the foot. Just like, oh yeah, that's
Hmm.
still there. Damn.
Yep,
And
exactly.
yeah, so I really do hope that the grief healing and stuff proceeds even like 10 times after this because you've done so much to help yourself and those around you that I know that it's going to come back to you like a hundredfold. And you're just going to be surprised of where you're going to go because you've already surprised everyone else in your life of where you've already been, right?
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. And I've surprised myself a lot, and I think that's really what matters the most.
Mm-hmm.
Is I like how far I came. I
Mm-hmm.
I like the life that I built.
Uh-huh.
I will say it's hard because like when we had the company, you know, let's just face it, like I made quite a bit of money, because I
Mm-hmm.
mean, let's face it, I'm the owner's son. I get a lot of
Mm-hmm.
perks, you know, get paid, you know, good.
Uh-huh.
So I built a life around that income, and
Mm-hmm.
I have an acreage, my own home, all of
Mm-hmm.
that. I had nice cars,
Uh-huh.
and the struggle was keeping that same level of income
Mm.
all these years,
Yeah.
So, but now that I have
Yeah.
my own business, it's not easier to keep that income, but
Uh-huh.
it's more on my terms, and
Uh-huh.
that's why I wanted to do it because I didn't want to rely on somebody else for my income.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. You know, I was about to say if it's your own business and stuff, it makes it to where it's more fulfilling in a sense,
exactly.
and
Yep.
you can't really put a price on that.
No, no, you can't.
Here's a quick like throwback question to the doctor that said that you'd never be able to walk and stuff. Like, have
Mhm.
you talked to him ever since? Not talked to them ever since, and like kind of shown them where you've gone so that they can maybe reevaluate how they treat other people that have this.
I know like I used to see him when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
and he was just ecstatic at how far I came.
Uh-huh.
So I think he did change his like outlook on what he says.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I hope so. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's just you know, doctors can only do what they're taught. You know,
Yeah.
so
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
just how it is.
Yeah. And so what's one of the things you like to tell people to help them realize that their mindset is what's holding them back?
I mean, like the main thing is like how many negative thoughts a day do you have?
Hmm.
And people like yeah, they do that exactly every time I say that. And it's like tomorrow just make a note in your phone every time
Okay.
you have a negative thought,
Uh-huh.
and you can be like, holy crap. Like at the end of the day, look at it and you can be like, crap. So then the next day, you're gonna
Uh-huh.
do the same thing. But
Mhm.
this time, every time you have a negative thought, you're gonna write down a positive from that thought. So kind of
Oh,
flip it around.
okay.
And the more you do this, I did this for months. I still do it here and there. The
Uh-huh.
more you do that, your brain will automatically change the negative thoughts into something positive.
Hmm.
And it's kind of like woo wooey, but it works.
Yeah.
And the more you do that, the more opportunities you see in life
Uh-huh.
because you're only going to see what your mind allows you to see.
Mhm.
And when you start looking for positive things out there,
Mhm.
you're going to find them.
Ah. Okay, I love that. It kind of reminds me of like someone that just got a brand new sports car or something. They're like, "Oh, I've never seen one of these on the road," and the next thing you know, they're
Exactly.
seeing like 10 Teslas, and they're like, "Ah, man, I
Yep.
thought my Tesla was special."
Yep. Oh yeah, I've had that. I'm a car guy.
Uh huh.
I think I'm up to 23 cars that I've owned.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, but every time I get a new car, that happens. I'm always like, I knew it was gonna happen, but you're so irritated, you know?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, that was just one of those examples that I had in my head. So I'm thank you for making sure that that's a real life
Oh,
scenario.
it definitely is. Oh yeah, that's for sure. Yep.
Oh man. Which car has been your favorite though?
So my favorite is actually the car that my dad gave me for graduation,
Oh,
and that's
okay.
a 1996 Eagle Talon, which is the
Ooh.
same thing as a Mitsubishi Eclipse. They're literally
Ah,
the same car, just different names.
okay.
But it looks like it was in uh, the first Fast and Furious movie. That's
Uh-huh.
literally what it looks like. It's got the bike kit, it's lowered wheels, a decal down the side, and
Huh.
it's orange, about like that guy.
Oh, nice.
So it's
Uh,
orange.
sweet.
Yep.
Who is that guy? Is he the school mascot?
I call him, I call him Frank. I seen
Okay.
him in a store one day. I thought he looked cool, so I bought him. And yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Frank kind of reminds me of some of the stuffed animals, or they're not really animals because they don't look like normal stuffed animals, but
It.
I had some really odd looking ones whenever I was growing up.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that that's where I kind of got the idea that normal is like boring.
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
uh, how do you like to kind of stand out from the crowd? I mean, you don't really have to wear all this bling and stuff to do it, right? It's kind of
No.
your personality. Your personality sets you out.
Well, I just gotta walk and I stand out.
I mean, fair, fair. um, what are some of the things that you find that you still kind of have issues with, even though you know that you can push through and break a lot of those barriers?
I guess for me is talking to strangers. Like
Mm,
that was always the hardest thing that I did my whole life.
mm.
Like it was so bad that when we would go to a restaurant, I wouldn't order my own food. I would
Oh
have
wow.
whoever I was with order it for me
Mm,
because I would stutter so much that I just couldn't get it out.
mm.
So yeah, it's still hard, but obviously a lot easier. Like I do it every day now. I speak on stages,
Uh-huh.
but every time I still get that little thought in my head, and
Uh-huh.
I just gotta be like, nope, shut up, you can do this, you know?
Yeah, I was just about to say you're talking to strangers all the time on the podcast.
Yeah,
So like you just kind of sit there and tell yourself, "Ah, I can do it. I've done it like 200 times before. What's in 205?"
yep,
Right?
exactly, yep. But it's still just one of those, stupid negative thoughts in the back of my head that
Uh-huh.
comes out. It doesn't come out every time. It's just here and there. I get it, and
Uh-huh.
it's like, why?
Mm,
Why am I thinking that? But
yeah.
it's just old habits.
Mhm.
They die hard.
Yeah. Old habits do die hard, man. And I mean, it's hard to really see where the future is going to bring us a lot of the time.
Hmm.
And we just have to take things day by day. And I mean, I know for myself, some days I'll wake up and it's like, I don't want to do anything today. Like yesterday was one of those days for me. I was like, I think I'm just going to stay in bed, but I
Hmm.
can't really afford to do that. But I don't know if that's one of those societal pressures that I put on myself or if it's something that is intrinsically like sometimes my body is just like, nah, we're going to take a break. Do you find yourself having days like that too?
Yeah, I just had that on Tuesday.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was, yeah, I was just like, I just don't want to do anything. And like every ounce of me, like the personal development and mindset piece, and like
Mm-hmm.
my coaches, it was like everything would tell me just do it anyways. Get up, get shit done.
Yeah.
But I did get stuff done. But I did relax most of the day,
Uh-huh.
and I think sometimes you just need to do that. You know, like
Mm.
this. You've got days where it's like you don't want to do, let's say work
Mm-hmm.
so much that even if you did it, you're not gonna do it the best that you could. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, can it wait until tomorrow? It
Mm-hmm.
probably can. You know, as long as you get the things that have to get done,
Mm. Yeah.
I think you're right.
Okay. Oh, I love that. It actually made me remember something that I read on the internet not too long ago, and it was, what is a rubber ball and what is a glass ball? Like, what are the things that you can drop today,
Mm,
and what are the things you have to make sure you actually handle?
yep.
And so it sounds like you really take self care as a priority of sorts. You don't sit there and let yourself hit burnout, do you?
So I did.
Ooh.
I did. I I've done that a couple of times, but
Okay.
my mentor that I have now, his name is Dr. Rob Kelly.
Okay.
He's the number one addiction doctor in the world, so he's
Whoa.
really cool. And
Huh.
it's all on psychology and mindset and what you believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So he's actually the one that's like, you can't work all the time because when we first started working together, that was one of the things that he asked. He's like, "How many days of the week do you take off?" I was like, "None." Like, what do you mean take a day off? You know? And he's
Uh-huh.
like, "Okay, well, from now on, you're not allowed to work on Saturday and Sunday."
Huh.
And I was like, "Well, I was thinking like take one day off." And he's like, "No, 2 days." I'm like, "All
Huh.
right." So I did that, and
Uh-huh.
I've been getting so much more stuff done than I did when I was working 7 days a week.
Oh
And
wow.
he also cut my hours during the day. He's like,
Huh.
you can only work at most 9 hours. That's it.
Uh-huh.
I
Okay.
was like, okay, I guess. But I started doing that, and yeah,
Uh-huh.
like I get more clients, I get more stuff done, everything's going good. You know,
Uh-huh.
not as good as you want, but that's a hard ask. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Wow. That's awesome that you get to work with a addiction coach like that. And I mean, so my question is, did you kind of find yourself in addiction whenever you were drinking a whole lot, or was that just something that like you had just a little bit of a problem with for a short stint?
it was just a problem. Like there've been times where I've like asked questions or am I an alcoholic?
Mm-hmm.
But working with Dr. Rob has taught
Mm-hmm.
me that I'm not an alcoholic because
Ah.
alcoholics are born
Mm.
and drug addicts are made.
Huh.
So when you're a true alcoholic, there's actually a chemical in the alcohol that you're
Uh-huh.
allergic to,
Hmm.
and that is why you get addicted because it gives your body a feeling that it needs it and it can't live
Mm-hmm.
without it.
Huh.
And I've never had that feeling. I could always put the bottle down whenever I wanted. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I wasn't drinking every day. I wasn't drinking all day. You know, I didn't wake up in the morning thinking I had to go get a drink. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like it was a nice little reliever when I learned that like I didn't have, I wasn't an alcoholic. I just
Mm-hmm.
had a problem with it, and
Mm.
every problem has a solution. You can fix it.
Uh-huh.
So I did.
Oh, nice.
Hmm.
How did you fix that kind of problem? Because I know I went down a really bad road with alcohol,
Yeah. Yep.
so it
I mean,
took
it's
me
just,
dying.
huh?
Oh, it took me dying to actually get
Oh,
my
really?
shit together. Yeah.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Yeah. Dr. Rob, same word. He died. So, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
You'll have to look him up. You'll like
Yeah.
his story. If you look at my podcast, he's episode 200.
Episode 200. All
Yep.
right. I'm going to make a
So
note of that real quick.
yeah, you'll like him. But I guess for me, like, I still drink here and there.
Uh
It's
huh.
just you gotta not have it be a problem. You
Mm
know, when it
hmm. Yeah.
starts to affect your life or the people around you
Mm
or your productivity,
hmm. Uh huh.
it's a problem,
Yeah.
and you gotta eliminate the problem, or
Mm hmm.
at least cut down on the
Mm
problem.
hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
some people you just gotta put it down for good, and that's it.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
and yep, it's
Yeah.
like for me, like recently, like I'll have a couple with friends.
Mm hmm.
I'm currently in a 3 week uh,
Huh.
uh sober thing. I don't know. Me and my best friend are doing it. It's like let's just not touch anything for 3 weeks,
Uh huh.
and
Oh, nice.
that's just like the type of things that I can do. It's not like it's an issue,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, I'm super glad that you can still enjoy it because I know that it was one of those things that really helped to take the edge off. But I mean, I
Yep,
found it took off too much of an edge.
that's for
So,
sure.
yeah.
Yep.
Uh, real quick, you did mention your podcast, so we got two links to show the audience.
Cool.
I guess we'll start with your website, and
Sounds
that
good.
is
Yeah.
nickyerhart.com, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
And so, what can they find your services there? Like, can they book something to talk to you?
Yep. So all of our services are there. You can schedule a call with me
Okay.
or my business partner, or usually you get both of us. We're usually both on there. But
Okay.
yeah, schedule a call whether you want to talk, about life coaching because I do still do that here and there,
Uh
business
huh.
coaching, and then podcast services and social media services.
Nice. And then your podcast, they can find it. It says Nick's podcast link, but it's actually pod dot. Uh, I already
Nick,
forgot it.
pod.nickyhurt.com.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So you've actually got your podcast on your own website, and
Yep.
so
Exactly. So if
the
you go to
lo-
the website and scroll down, there's a player on there. You can just
uh
play it right there.
nice.
Yeah.
That's really
I
cool.
almost didn't do that because it really slows down your website a lot. But I
Oh,
was like,
really?
it's alright. Because, like, my website's still pretty fast because one of my
Uh huh.
friends is really good at building websites.
Oh, nice.
And, yeah, we actually help a lot of our clients with websites because we just call him and be like, hey, build a website. And he's like, all right. So,
Whoops.
yeah,
Sorry, I accidentally knocked out my own earpiece laughing out.
I've done that so many times. That's why I stopped talking. I seen what happened. I was like, yep, he can't hear me.
So you were saying that you'll contact your friend to build the websites?
Yep. So if anybody comes to me and we're talking, we're like, you need a new website, then we'll contact him, and
Nice.
I charge the client and he charges me. It works
Uh-huh.
out good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Uh so I mean, along your journey, you've made some pretty astounding friends, I imagine, right?
Well, yeah, that's for sure. And yeah, like just some of the people out there that you idolize and you look up to, and
Mhm.
you're always scared that they're not who you think they are. Every person that I've met, like Grant, Cardone, his whole team, like they're all legit. They all really care, and
Huh.
like Dr. Rob Kelly, he's a bit a big, you know, a big person. Let's say, like he's a multimillionaire, and
Uh-huh.
he's helped hundreds of celebrities and people like that. And it's like
Uh-huh.
you meet him, and he's just down to earth, just like you. Like I think like a lot of people, because like
Uh-huh.
I know my family and my friends, like you hear them, they don't like rich people. They say rich people are evil. All of that.
Mhm.
So no, they're usually not. There are some, but usually no. Like, you just don't have all the facts,
Mm-hmm.
and your small mindset is not letting you see the actual truth.
Ooh.
So,
Oh, I love that. So someone's own mindset being small can affect how they look at other people and maybe judge them before they even get a chance to get to know them.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
um, and I mean, that sounds like something that you've had to kind of walk people through quite a bit. And because, I mean, I can only imagine the kind of judgments that you still get from time to time from strangers that, I mean, would rightly give you that urge or that hold to talk to strangers. Because I know judgment is one of the things I hate getting judged just because the way I dress, my piercings,
Same.
whatever it is, you
Hmm.
know. So I can't imagine how it actually like impacts you and how it was growing up. So
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, it was hard growing up. Like, that was
mhm,
the hard part. But
yeah.
nowadays, I want all the attention I can get. Like, that's how I am. Like, I post on social media every
Uh-huh.
day, multiple times a day. And
Uh-huh.
it's just like, give me more attention because money follows attention.
Ooh.
So,
Huh.
yep.
Money follows attention. Is that
Hmm.
something that you try to teach the people that you work with?
Yeah, it is because like when we help people with social media, we always tell them like our lowest package, we're gonna post 3 times a day.
Oh
That's our
wow.
low, and we're posting on every platform that is out there.
Huh.
Yeah, so everybody's always like, well, most people are like, that's too much. That's too much.
Uh-huh.
My audience won't like that. No, it doesn't make a difference. Like
Really?
you have to post so much now. Like
Uh-huh.
every post is like throwing a brick into the Grand Canyon. That's how you gotta think of it. And you gotta throw a lot of bricks to make any difference.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, we
Huh.
post at minimum 3 times a day,
Oh
and
wow.
because we do that, all of our clients, their
Uh-huh.
analytics will go up at least 200% in the first month.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, I might have to get a hold of you and take some social media classes or something.
Yeah, I'd be more than willing to hop on a call with you and just
Yeah,
give you tips. That's another
awesome.
thing about us. Anybody that books a call, like, yes, we would like you to become a client, but
Uh
I'm
huh.
not going to try to hard sell you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not like Grant Cardone. He's good at what he does, but he
Mm-hmm.
hard sells. That's
Uh
just not my style. I
huh.
want to earn your trust, and I
Yeah.
want you to work with me.
Yeah.
So every time we get a call with someone, they walk away with at least 3 things that they can implement into their
Huh.
social media
Uh huh.
themselves.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
That's really cool. I mean, I just gotta say, I look up to people like you because you are working towards building their trust.
Hmm.
And trust is one of those things that's really hard to build. It's really hard to come by trustworthy people, it seems nowadays. And if you're sitting there helping them out like this, I can only imagine how much you actually like propel other people that decide to go with your services.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's just like, I just think that a personal brand is more important these days than ever before. And
Mm.
I just want to be known as the guy that will help you first and charge you later, you know?
Oh, yeah. That's amazing work right there. It kind of sounds like Boy Scouts in a sense.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Were you ever in Boy Scouts or anything like that?
Nope, I wouldn't.
Ah,
Nope.
man.
Yeah, nope.
I think that that was one of the things that you would have really excelled at, and
Yeah.
you would have made a lot of people better scouts because you set a great example. You know,
Thank you.
of
Thank you.
course, of course. And I mean, you also, I'm sorry, but throwing a brick into the Grand Canyon, that is a perfect way to look at social media and stuff now because it seems like it's almost all bots posting all the time nowadays.
Yep. And that's the
Uh,
hard thing. It's like you gotta stand out. And
uh-huh.
you gotta do what people aren't doing. And that's probably like you'll see a lot of my posts. It'll tell you don't copy other influencers. Like
Hmm.
it doesn't work. They're already doing it.
Uh-huh.
Do something yourself.
Huh.
And my own Facebook, my personal one. That's where I like my personal Facebook is like my guinea pig on trying things out.
Uh-huh.
And guess what? I figured out a lot of things that you should do and a lot that you shouldn't do. But over the last 3 years, I went
Uh-huh.
from 0 followers to 20,000.
Whoa.
So yeah, I,
Yeah.
d- I can finally say that I definitely know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing, and I can help
Uh-huh.
you do this thing.
Wow. That's crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
that is some which is fantastic work. 20,000 people choosing to hit follow is not an easy task.
No,
Uh
no,
and
and it's I think the coolest number that I look at the most, it's not really the followers, it's how many views I get a month.
uh-huh.
And last month was 800,000. This month,
Whoa.
I think we're at 625,000. And that's just on one Facebook account. That
Wow.
doesn't count my other Facebook or my YouTube, my
Huh.
Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. Like I'm on all of it. So
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Wow. Here's a question. Do you use something like one up to post to all of the accounts at once, or do you log into each one individually?
Now, so my personal Facebook is individual
Uh-huh.
because, as far as I know, if anybody knows a software that can do it, let me know. But you can't schedule from an outside source to a personal account.
Mm.
But all my other accounts, I have a software that we use. We use it for our clients. I
Huh.
post to all of them all at one time. You
Huh.
just gotta, you just gotta change, like the layout of pictures for each platform, but
Uh-huh.
it makes it simple.
Yeah, that's awesome. I
Yep.
know that whenever I first started this whole journey, I was having a full-time job and then trying to sit there and do like six different accounts. And it was like, oh, I'm spending an hour and a half just doing the same post over and
Yep.
over and over and over. Oh,
Yeah. Like there's a lot of different softwares out there that can do it, and uh, I don't care if it costs a couple $100 a month. It is
yeah.
worth it just to schedule everything at one time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Time is money and money is time.
Exactly.
um, so I mean, we're near the end of this episode, but I mean, this has been absolutely an honor and a pleasure getting to talk and speak with you, Nick. And
Thank you.
I'm just gotta say that you are an inspiration, and I just can't wait to see what else you do. I can't wait to see you get on some stages and inspire billions of people because I'm isn't that your goal to help billions of people?
It is. I was like when you said that, I was like either he heard me say that before or like the universe is talking. But yes, I want to help at least 1 billion people improve the quality of their life.
Oh man, that is I think you're well on the way to that, you know.
Yeah.
And the internet is magic in essence, really.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh
you're
yeah.
learning how to use magic and the internet and everything else to the best advantage that you can, and
Mm-hmm.
I think you're making some strong currents.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
Is there anything that you'd like to leave the audience with this evening so that maybe they can maybe get a well, so let me rewind that. Is there anything that you'd like to leave the audience with so that you can add to that tally of how many people you get to help?
Yeah, I'm gonna say a couple things.
Okay.
So the first thing, if you are a parent of a child that has a different ability, that's how I like to put it. It's a little
Okay.
nicer, I guess. But
Uh,
if you're a parent of somebody that has a different ability, believe in them.
mm,
Like that's the biggest thing. Believe that they can do things because you believing in them is gonna make them believe in themselves. And
mm,
as we all know, if you believe in yourself, you can accomplish so much more than you can ever imagine.
uh-huh.
So believe in them, help them, push them to do things on their own. Don't just do everything for them. and
Okay.
let them live as much as possible. You know, like there's so many parents out there that hold their children back because they don't want them to get hurt or things like that. Well, I'm sorry, like that's part of growing up for anyone. You're gonna get hurt, you're gonna fall
Hmm.
down, but you gotta teach your kids to get back up.
Yeah.
Or if they're in a wheelchair, keep on rolling. You know,
Yep.
and
Oh.
then the next thing, just whatever you want in life. And if you don't know what that is, I'm gonna say this: if you don't know your purpose in life, every day you need to wake up and your goal for that day is to find your purpose. Figure out why you're here. Figure out how you can help people. Figure
Mm-hmm.
out how you can help people and make money. That would be
Mm-hmm.
even better. But find that purpose, because once you find that purpose, you have something to strive for, and you have something to get up for every day.
Mm. Oof. Man, those are some powerful words, both of those, because I have to agree that if we hold back people around us, or if parents hold back their children and it's in the guise of safety, we don't want them to get hurt, then
Hmm.
you're cheating them from experience that life just is life.
Yeah,
Um and
I
that
mean,
go ahead.
just look at me and what I have accomplished.
Mhm.
If my parents would have been like, "Oh, okay, he can't ever walk,"
Mm.
hmm, okay, I would never walk. I'd never drive,
Mhm.
probably. I'd never race four-wheeler, and like the doctors told my mom at one point that once I got too big for her to take care of, I would have to go live in like a nursing home.
Mm.
So it's like
Yeah.
I could be living in a nursing home right now, but
Yeah.
instead I own my own home with an acreage, and I love it here.
Yeah.
I can live on my own. It's,
Uh-huh.
uh, so you gotta help your kids figure out what they can actually do, not what other people tell them they can do or can't do.
Mm. Oof, that's beautiful. And I'm just congrats on the house and congrats on having some amazing parents.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're a beacon of hope and just a lighthouse. And so I hope some people can avoid some really rocky shores whenever it comes to parenting, because
Hmm.
I'm not a parent, but I know how difficult it can be.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yep.
um, and I mean, with that being said, we are at the end of this episode. But Nick, it has been an honor and a pleasure speaking to you. And I look forward to speaking with you in the future if you're up for it. And I mean, everyone else out there, I hope you have a wonderful evening or whenever it is that you're listening to this episode. And try to love yourself, love others if you can, but you got to try to love yourself first, and try to be your favorite version of yourself today if you can. If you're having a mental health crisis, dial 988 or text 741-741. And like Nick said, wake up, try to find your purpose if you don't know what it is. And if you can make money while you're doing it, that's even better. So, with that being said, we'll see y'all next time. And Schlan.